All right, then. So let's just settle into our meditation posture. Feet flat on the ground. If you are sitting on a chair with your feet down, make sure they're in parallel position. And just make sure your sacrum is upright. That pelvic bowl, if it were to have any liquid in it, it wouldn't be spilling out. So just try and, if you need to prop your sit bones up with a cushion or like a towel or something, just to kind of make sure you're not kind of sloping backwards. That affects the spine. Your spine isn't completely straight. It's got natural curves in it. So you need to allow them to be there, but we don't want to be slumping over. And we need to be able to breathe correctly, and we need the channels to be flowing nicely, the energy in the body. So have the shoulders over the hips, the hands in the meditation mudra. And as much as you can, your ears are aligned with your shoulders. The head is slightly tipped forward and the eyes are down. Tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth. Just 1 second. Back to gallery view. Welcome, Mudit. And just bring your attention to the crown of the head and relax the scalp, the forehead, the eyes, the nose, the cheeks. The area around the mouth and the jaw. Bring your attention to the back of the scalp and relax that area there, the back of the neck and the shoulders, the back. The front of the neck, the chest, the belly, arms, hands, fingers, legs and feet and toes. And just make sure you haven't slumped again. And it is very important for our digestion, I heard this evening, that we keep our bellies relaxed. I mean, everyone's striving so hard to have that six-pack down there in the gym or in the yoga class. As much as you can, keep the belly relaxed. It's an interesting balance to make. So just bring the mind to the breath and notice the sensation of the cool air as you're breathing in through the nostrils, slightly warmer air as you're breathing out. If there's any sounds in your environment, external environment, outside or inside, just allow them to be there. Try not to run off and investigate with your mind. And you may have some thoughts arising, falling from today. Just allow those thoughts to be there. Try not to judge. And just bring to mind the people of your life, the ones you love, the ones who support you, who are kind to you, who check up on you, keep an eye on you, seem to know when it is you need a phone call or a chat with dear friends, and the ones that perhaps you don't love so much, that maybe they irritate you, maybe you just really don't like them, you have aversion for them, they have aversion for you. And then the strangers. And here again, I'm thinking of all these many street people in Santa Fe and the area around. If it's really is 25 degrees down there, there's probably a lot of quite cold people tonight. So think of them. And just think all these people are equal with us in their wish to be happy, and to not ever quite find happiness. They wish not to suffer, and they're constantly running into it. And this incredible capacity for enlightenment. So just think we're going to do this Vajrasattva meditation tonight, this purification meditation for all the people in our life, for all sentient beings, and for ourselves, so we can purify all our negative karma, continue with our study and our practice all the way till enlightenment. So just to remind ourselves, there is no negativity that cannot be purified. So this is a psychological process we're engaging in. So we have the 4 opponent powers. We're going to use these to create positivity with our mind, to counteract the negativity, any negative seeds that might be there. So the first of these 4 opponent powers is the power of regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart. Hello, Victor. Anything you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, in all past lives. So think of something that maybe happened today, no matter how small. And sometimes maybe it's a good idea to make prayers that perhaps you didn't accidentally, inadvertently hurt someone's feelings, or maybe you didn't hear them when they said hello and you didn't answer back. But we also bring to mind regret for the things that we do know we have done to harm others, and perhaps regret for the things that perhaps we're a bit ignorant of, that we don't remember or we weren't aware of. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma. So we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions. And having harmed others, we will necessarily experience suffering in the future. And given that what we understand about suffering now, we don't want to suffer in the future, do we? So the logic is therefore to remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for me. And just think, I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body, my speech, broken my vows, because I do not want the future suffering and I'm sick of suffering. So we also regret all the anger and the attachment and all the rest, which are the cause of why we harm others, these delusions in our mind. Think, okay, so now who can I turn to? And here we come to the power of alliance. So we have first little section here is refuge. We rely upon, we turn to the Buddha, the doctor, who has the methods that we can use to purify. And it's not that we need Buddha to forgive us. We purify ourselves by relying upon his methods. So visualize Vajrasattva above the crown of your head, and he's your guru, manifesting in this aspect for your benefit. And he's made of this blissful, radiant white light. He's sitting in a cross-legged position on a lotus. He has this radiant, beautiful face, youthful face, and these lotus-like eyes, and they're peaceful and loving and full of compassion for you. There is no judgment in Guru Vajrasattva's mind. He just meets you exactly where you are at, accepts you for who you are. He has this sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom. The right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion, and their being crossed represents the union of these two, which symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Guru, the Dharma and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened by this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva. May I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So the next little section here is about developing compassion. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings. And in this case, the very beings we have harmed and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. And think particularly of people perhaps that you've harmed recently, maybe the ones that you brought to mind at the beginning of the session, and in the past, and then in general, again, all beings we've ever harmed since beginning this time. And then bring to mind the people in your life who've harmed you, and have compassion for them, because they will necessarily experience suffering for the harm they've caused you in the future. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these sentient beings. And just think, I must purify for their sake. So next is the power of the remedy. This is the actual practice, the doing of the purification, this recitation of the mantra. So the first is the purification of the body. So Guru Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming, maybe from Niagara Falls, as one of my friends just suggested. But if that's too strong for you, you can just imagine quite forcefully coming from Guru Vajrasattva's heart. And it sort of arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. It keeps coming, and it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supakaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mepiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Siddham Shriyam Guruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa, Sutokaya Mebawa, Supokaya Mebawa, Anarakta Mebawa, Sawasidi Mepiyata Sawa Kama Sita Siddham Shriyam Kuruhum Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Am Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa, Sutokaya Mebawa, Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mepiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Siddham Shriyam Guruhum Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mepiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Siddham Shriyam Guruhum Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mepiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Siddham Shriyam Guruhum Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mepiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Siddham Shriyam Guruhum Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mepiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Siddham Shriyam Guruhum Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified. And just think, from now on, there's nothing that I could do other than be of benefit to others with my body. Next is purification of the speech. And Guru Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra. And it arcs around and forcefully enters your crown, filling your entire body. This time forcing up to the top of your body, all the negativity of your speech, which overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. And so just imagine all the gossip, and the harsh speech and the useless speech and the lying and talking badly about others behind their backs and getting other people to agree with you. All this is purified by the powerful nectar filling you as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dina Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supakaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mebiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Siddham Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahazamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dina Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supakaya Mebawa Anarakta mebawa sawasiti membe yata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawatata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dira mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa anarakta mebawa sawasiti membe yata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan Sawatata gata vajramame musa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dira mebawa sutokaya mebawa supakaya mebawa anarakta mebawa sawasiti membe yata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawatata gata vajramame musa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa anarakta mebawa sawasiti mebe yata sawa kama sitame siddham shriyam guruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawatata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dina mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa Anarakta mebawa sawasiti mebiyata sawa kama zitame sitam shriyam guruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawatata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa anarakta mebawa sawasiti mebiyata sawa kama zitame sitam shriyam guruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan Sawatata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is purified. Just really rejoice. And imagine now that it's not possible that you could do anything but be of benefit to others from now on with your speech. So every time they hear your voice, it benefits their mind. So the next is the purification of the mind. And Guru Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of light, this time from his heart chakra. And this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. And just as Lama Yeshe says, when you walk into a room and switch on a light, the darkness in that room is instantly dispelled. So in the same way, the moment the light hits your heart chakra, the darkness of the negativity of your mind is instantly dispelled. So all the attachment and neediness and anger, violence and depression, resentment, jealousy, bitterness are all instantly dispelled, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dira mebawa sutokaya mebawa supakaya mebawa anarakta mebawa sawasiti mebiyata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawatata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dira mebawa sutokaya mebawa supakaya mebawa Anarakta mebawa sawasiti mempe yata sawa kama sitame siddham shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawatata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dira mebawa sutokaya mebawa supakaya mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Satame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Saka Ahum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Satame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satva Ahum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempe Yata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satva Ahum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempe Yata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satva Ahum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempe Yata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satva Ahum Pe. So again, be delighted, really rejoice. All your delusions, which are the source of your own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are totally purified. They're gone. And think there is no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. So next is the purification of even the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. So as we've been doing, you can just imagine the previous visualization of the previous 3 visualizations of the body, speech, and mind. And if that's kind of too busy for you to do all at once, you can just imagine light and nectar pouring from Guru Vajrasattva's heart and filling you completely, and imagine it eradicates this light and this nectar, even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your mind as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dina Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempe Yata Sawa Kama Sutame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satva Ahum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supakaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempe Yata Sawa Kama Sutame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satva Ahum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempe Yata Sawa Kama Sutame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satva Ahum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempe Yata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satva Ahum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempe Yata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satva Ahum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida meboa, sutokaya meboa, supokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasidi mebiyata sawa kama sitame, sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan, sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita, dida meboa, sutokaya meboa, supokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasidi mebiyata sawa kama sitame, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahazamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. So the next is the power of resolve. This is the fourth step in the purification process, and it's a really crucial step, is this determination to not harm with our body, speech, and mind again. Without this determination, we're just going to keep doing the same old things over and over again, follow the same old patterns, same old habits. So this determination, this aspiration is like a beacon that guides our body and our speech and our mind in our new directions. So we just decide. It's like flicking on a switch. Make a decision. I'm not going to harm again, but that might be a little bit too much, maybe more than we can actually do. So think something that you would just like, just something simple that you'd like to work on, maybe just this evening before you go to bed. Maybe it's something to do with your speech. Maybe it's something to do with a habit. Maybe you bite your nails or whatever it is. Maybe you're slightly sarcastic. You think you're joking, but other people get offended, or maybe you swear. I don't know. Whatever your thing is that maybe you'd like to work on, and think, well, I'm not going to do this particular thing for 5 seconds or 30 seconds or 5 hours, 8 hours while I'm sleeping. You just make a determination. Not like a New Year's Eve resolution, because we break those usually within a few days. This is just make a decision about a timeline and then stick to it. So we don't lie to ourselves about what we think we can do. Just be reasonable with yourself. And this determination to not harm again or to not do something again gives us the courage to change. Guru Vajrasattva is delighted with us, wanting to merge with your mind. He melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown. And you think, my Guru's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same thing. And LAMA YESHE used to call this union oneness. So next, Lama Rinpoche asks or recommends to meditate on the emptiness of the 3 circles. In emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So just place your mind in that emptiness for a moment. And in this way, we're just looking at all phenomena as empty. They do not exist from their own side. You can also think of things as being dependently arising. This comes into creation because of this. Things are a bunch of causes and conditions, not permanently existing from their own side. And also we can think maybe things don't exist the way we think they do. Perhaps they exist differently from the way we perceive them. It just helps us to break down this concrete view we have of the world. Okay, so let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy we've created this evening by doing this purification together to all living beings, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. So let's do the long life prayers, starting with His Holiness. The wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, to the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. For Lama Rinpoche, you who uphold the subduous moral way, who serve as the bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving, and spreading Manjana's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplishes magnificent prayers, honoring the 3 jewels, save of myself and others, your disciples, please live long. for Lama Ursel, Venerable One, to you whose kindness exceeds that of all the conquerors, for those wanderers in far off places, especially the West, mindfully with loving concern for us and intentionally descending again into a family of a far distant land, we make this request, O Lama, please, please live long. And for Geshe-la, beloved teacher, leading your students toward wisdom and compassion, explaining through exacting discernment the steps of the graduated path, you are the unequaled guide. Please live a long and stable life. So there we are. Welcome, Phyllis. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for coming along and doing this meditation, all of us together doing it. I'd so love to see all your beautiful faces, and especially Source.